Today's story time. Have you ever heard of or thought of such situations when the Prime Minister may be summoned to the court, or the Prime Minister decides to go to the court himself or herself? What will happen at that instance? How will the court behave? How will the staff behave? What kind of questions will be asked, and what purpose will be served by the presence of Prime Minister in the court? I will be telling you a related fact today, a series of facts. Hi guys, this is Isha Kapoor and you're watching Vlogish. Most of us know about the case of Indira Nehru Gandhi versus Raj Narayan. We know what had happened. We know that there was an election from a particular constituency, and from there both Indira Gandhi and the petitioner Raj Narayan both had contested. But later on it was alleged by Raj Narayan that Indira Gandhi had misused her power and she had committed certain corrupt practices to win the election there. Therefore, what Raj Narayan did was, Raj Narayan consulted certain advocates who were extremely famous. He finally chose Mr. Shanti Bhushan to be his advocate, to be his senior counsel for the case, and he went on to the court, to the High Court, with an election petition and challenged the election, the power, the seat of the then Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Everybody who was looking at this case, who was following this case, thought it to be nothing more than another instance of somebody trying to harass the Prime Minister. But who knew this case would bring so many new changes, new turns in the history of India, and that actually happened. So this is an incident related to this case only, when the Prime Minister attended the court as a witness for the first time in history. And that was indeed what do I call it? I call it a spectacular moment, or a moment that we all should remember, not really with pride. I don't know how to describe it, but it was certainly something very different that had happened that day. So many of us think that Indira Gandhi, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister, she was called or she was summoned by the court to appear before it, by the Allahabad High Court. But no, that was not the case. No judge. Because you're watching this video, I have a strong feeling that you are either an advocate, a person who admires lawyers, who admires this field, or somebody who wishes to enter the field. And how do you enter any field? You know, these days it's all through competitive examinations, and the most important competitive examination for entering this field of law is the CLAT exam. So 21st of January should be that date which should hold extreme relevance for all the CLAT aspirants. If you're impressed by this case of Indira Nehru Gandhi versus Raj Narayan, you want to read more about election laws, you want to know what are election petitions, you want to read more about lawyers, advocates, you want to read more about stalwarts in the field of law, you will first have to join a law school, and for that you need to crack the CLAT exam. And Unacademy's CLAT courses are there to help you with that only. 21st January is an important date because a new batch for the CLAT aspirants is starting on Unacademy. This batch is for all the beginners, and the classes will be conducted in both Hindi and English. So in case you choose to join this batch and you purchase the iconic subscription, you will also get access to free live one-on-one sessions with your mentors. So I'll just give you an example. In case you are buying a subscription for 6 months, you will get access to all the batches that are there on Unacademy, to all the subjects, all the courses, all the classes that are there on Unacademy. Along with that, you will also get 18 free live one-on-one mentorship sessions with your mentor, with all the experts from this field, with people who have had ranks 1, 2, 3, 10, 24, 100 in the previous CLAT examinations. So I think this is a good idea for all of you who are still contemplating whether I should join the law school or not. You should definitely, in case you are impressed by this video. Also, do not forget to use the code VLOGISH that is written on your screen. Go to the description box, choose your desired batch today, and in case you later in life you feel like after a month you feel you have enrolled for the wrong batch, you want to join some other batch, you can also do that. Nobody summoned her to appear. In fact, it was her own wish to appear before the court as a witness in her case. So all the major witnesses, many major witnesses according to her lawyers, were doing some blunders while giving their testimonies. So she herself decided to appear before the court and be a witness in the case. Although the Advocate General at that time advised Mrs. Gandhi to not appear as a witness before the court, but his advice was ignored, and the results were certainly not very good for her as well, for her power as well, for her election petition as well. What had happened was, I will describe the entire scene for you guys. So the Prime Minister is set to come the next day. She is a witness in this very important election petition that is being heard by the High Court. Everybody thinks that we need a lot of security, we need to see what all arrangements need to be made. Even judges and the staff is perplexed. The honorable judges are perplexed. Justice Sinha was perplexed as to what arrangement should I make, because generally when a witness comes to the court, a witness is made to stand there. But a person of such high stature as that of the Prime Minister cannot be just made to stand like that. There were some opinions like this too. Therefore, especially for Mrs. Gandhi, a seat was created to sit there, which was actually up till the level of the sitting judge. So Justice Sinha and Mrs. Gandhi were sitting on the same level actually. That was the kind of arrangement made. And it was done out of nobody's pressure, but Justice Sinha only agreed to it after consultation with Mr. Bhushan and a few other lawyers as well. Yeah, and remember that I am telling you all these excerpts from one of the books that I am reading these days, and it is super interesting. I'd recommend it to all of you. It's The Case That Shook India by Mr. Prashant Bhushan. Prashant Bhushan also happens to be a lawyer by profession. He is an advocate, and he is also the son of Mr. Shanti Bhushan, who was the senior counsel against Indira Gandhi and for Raj Narayan in this case. So Mr. Prashant Bhushan is one of those people who had attended the hearings, the dates of this case, and who has written this book actually after recollecting things from his memory and after going through the notes that he had made there as a student of law, I would say, because he was observing all the things that were happening there, observing everything that his father was doing, everything that other lawyers were doing, how the witnesses were appearing, how their conduct was. So yeah, I told you that Mrs. Gandhi ignored the advice of Advocate General of India, Kanhaiya Lal Mishra. She ignored his advice and she appeared in the court as a witness. So first day she appeared, the judge was there 2 minutes before the hearing was set to begin, and the honorable judge took special care to actually dictate the court procedure there and say that I am reminding all of you again that whenever a witness comes to this court, nobody needs to stand. This is the procedure that we are following and this is the convention that we follow in the court. So Prime Minister was appearing. And when the Prime Minister came to the court, still a few people rose up in her respect. That happens when you're the Prime Minister of the nation and when you're a person of such high popularity at that time as that of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Mr. Bhushan tells us that Indira Gandhi appeared to be very calm, composed, and literally unaffected by what was happening around her. It was like she was on some other official duty. She was doing some duty. She just had to face a cross-examination by an extremely talented and a senior counsel. And yeah, it was no big deal for her. So she came into the court, she was asked a few questions, and it appeared on that day that Mrs. Gandhi did really well as a witness. So she could tell her story, she could protect her facts very nicely. But then when Mr. Bhushan was consulted on this aspect by other leaders as to why did you keep it so simple for the Prime Minister? Don't you want to win the case? Don't you want to have certain facts which will have that kind of testimony, have those kind of statements which will help you in the final arguments later? To that he responded at his home while a tea party was going on. He said that I had kept these questions for today only as a bait for the witness. I just want her to feel confident as if she's winning and nobody can hamper her position. But I will show you what real cross-examination is the next day. And on the next day, really, people say that a bomb exploded, as if a bomb exploded. It was 90 minutes of cross-examination by Mr. Bhushan, and he managed to get certain exemplary answers and statements from the Prime Minister which he used in his final arguments, and later on because of which she was held guilty of corrupt practices during the election. And that's how she lost her seat. It paved way for another Supreme Court judgment. It paved way for the emergency. It paved way for so many changes in the laws of India. Of course, later on. But this is the story of that day. I was astonished to have read this, and I wanted you also to know this. In case you like this story, you can also go on and read the book, The Case That Shook India by Mr. Prashant Bhushan. I am honestly loving it. And by the way, if we are talking about the Prime Minister, I must also tell you one fact which is related to the election law. I have been taught election law by a professor, by a teacher whom I really respect, really admire, and I think he has instilled those kind of principles in us with respect to the laws, the study that we did, that I won't ever be able to forget what he taught. At least I haven't forgotten till now. He also informed us, and I've read in the cases and all, that elections can be only questioned by way of election petitions, the High Court or the Supreme Court. So only a voter or a candidate who was a candidate in the election can question the election of the winning person by saying that he or she indulged in a corrupt practice in the elections, and therefore this election is not valid. Okay, so you can go ahead and read section 123 of the Representation of People's Act. You will get to know what I am talking about, just for your knowledge. I hope you like this episode of the Prime Minister visiting the court, and I hope a lot of your facts got clarified too. Thank you for watching.